Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition. Choir Boys Cover. I got a little dirt there on my face. It'll be alright. That's what grown men do, get a little dirt on their face. I'm going to put on these sunglasses. It's raining. That'll be alright. 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. It's a number that's staggering. We talk about every video. Why? Because I want to raise awareness. It's a fight I took on, and it's a fight we're going to see through. We back to blue over here with Sport Leo. How you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you're an addict like I am, you never quit quitting. Well, we got to talk about this knife right here. I did a review of it yesterday. It's the CRKT Pilar. Now, one thing it has back here, see this little thumb thing here? Flip it open. It's a flipper. It's CR13 MOV or that arrangement in some order. I don't know. Don't give a shit. Now, I thought when D-Bad sent this that he sharpened it up, because this thing came sharp as shit. Now, I ran it across the strop that Tyler from Alpha and Omega Survival Supply sent me. I love that strop. Tyler sent me another one, son. Love it. It's a badass strop. I went across there 2 or 3 times. I do that with every knife, but I thought D-Bad had sharpened it up. No. Donnie carried this knife right here for 3 or 4 days, did his review, washed it off, sent it to me. I carried it all day at work and opened box after box after box, plastic, all that crap with it, and then did my review. I used it all day today, and the dude about cut himself at the end of the day. That's why you never let anybody use your knife. Walking out the door, but, you know, I was off the clock, so I didn't really give a shit. But, you know, that's how sharp this knife is, guys. I have no agenda on this channel. I really don't. We don't talk about politics, religion, or her. We don't do any of that. That's all divisive stuff. Her will kill you, but the other stuff is just divisive. But I don't push products. I love cold steel. Y'all know that. I've never been a CRKT knife guy. I've got a Ruckason fixed blade that I love. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, for $25 or $30, I'm gonna put my affiliate link in there. And again, you don't have to use my link. If nothing else, click the link, look at the knife, go, oh, and you can buy it all Smoky Mountain, use Sezzle, do whatever you got to do. But get you one of these knives. The longer I do this, the more appreciative for the knives I become. This is my favorite hand position with this thing. I got my finger in this choil, very comfortable, no sharp spots, no hard spots. Yes, buddy, please. It's raining, I know. Oh, yeah, okay. Lord forgive me. I live in Florida. It rains every damn day of the summer, and people just lose their mind. Just go insane, son. I got on sunglasses, I can't even see, and I'm still holding it between the lines. I don't have to, y'all notice the trunk's not braking every 5 minutes. Go on, pull off. There you go. Yeah, okay. Everybody does this. This is what I do. When I get all of this or something, or they jump out the truck, I let them get about halfway back here before I get out the truck. And then, oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. Anyway. So I love this knife, love D-Bad, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. A couple weeks ago, I told y'all about a Roman centurion, Marcus Crassus Scaeva. You owe it to yourself to look up Mr. Scaeva. He's a bad dude. There's 2 other guys I'm going to tell y'all about, a little story time while we're riding with Scab. Titus Pulo and Lucius Varenus. I think that's how you say it. I'm not Latin. I'm not Roman. I don't give a shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's the 2 dudes off the TV series Rome. Okay, here's the deal. They were real guys. Varenus and Pulo. They were not in the 13th Legion. They were in the 11th. One did not reign over the other. They were both centurions. We know them because of their deeds were enough that Caesar put them in his memoir. They were competitors for Primus Pilus, the first spear. That's the highest rank an enlisted guy could go, okay? Centurion, and then, you know, 1st through 8, and then the Primus Pilus, right? and they argued incessantly. It can be like, you know, one of your boys that you argue with all the time about who was better. Well, they were at their winter quarters, and they were surrounded by the Gauls. Thousands upon thousands of Gauls had surrounded the camp. Pullo shouted to Vorenus and said, "Today we settle who's the better soldier." And he took off towards the Gaul, one man attacking the other army. Vorenus, not wanting to look bad in the eyes of his men, was hot on his heels. Pullo threw his pilum, and he actually wounded a Gaul, and they fell back. Then they threw their spears at him. One went through his shield and stuck in his belt and caused him to fall. The Gauls then surrounded Pullo. Seeing this, Vorenus lost his mind, and he went into a rage, and he attacked, killing one, wounding several, and driving them back for the moment. But in his rage, he fell in a hole as well. The Gauls rushed towards him. Now this whole time, the Roman legions, who have iron discipline, are cheering for their 2 centurions against an entire army. Everybody thought that it was the end for Vorenus, when all of a sudden Pullo raised himself up and he attacked the Gauls, and together they drove the Gauls back and fought their way back to their fortified camp, while the 11th Legion was cheering them on and going crazy. See, that was back before toxic masculinity. That's back when you was a man and you just handled your shit. It wasn't about being a tough guy. There's just certain things you did. It's old history time with Uncle Scab. There's another one I'll tell you about, and this will be the last one for today. Caesar went to Egypt, and if you remember, the Egyptians had killed Pompey and presented Caesar with his head. Well, Caesar gets, as Caesar does, embroiled in a fiasco there, and once he gets out of that, he goes to Thrace, and by the time he gets back to Rome, things are just in chaos. Mark Antony was a decent general, terrible administrator. The 10th Legion, the famed 10th, had mutinied and were going to go home. Caesar showed up and he gave them an Alexander the Great type speech of, "This is what I want, what I've done for you, and this is how you treat me." Now, insurrection was growing in North Africa, and he had to go. And then he hit the 10th with the coup de grace. He said, "Go home, citizens." At this, men of the 10th broke down and wept and begged Caesar to take them. And they accompanied Caesar to North Africa. North Africa was tactically one of Caesar's few mistakes. History wants us to believe that Mark Antony was Caesar's right-hand man. That's not true. It was a man named Labienus. Labienus was every bit the general Caesar was, not the politician, but the general. And when Caesar crossed the Rubicon, for whatever reason, Labienus went to the Republican side. In North Africa, much because of Labienus' plan, Caesar walked into a trap and his troops were surrounded. And Labienus come forward and he called some of them by name, and he mocked them, and he feigned sorrow for their situation, when a lone centurion stepped forth and said, "What about the 10th?" Because Labienus had served a lot with the 10th. And Labienus showed disdain and said, "Where is your standard?" And in a rage, the centurion said, "You'll soon know who the 10th are, Labienus." He removed his helmet, and with all his might, he threw his pilum. He removed his helmet so that Labienus would know he was a veteran of the 10th. Matter of fact, he said, "Labienus, I am not a whelp I am a veteran of the 10th. He threw his pilum and he killed Labienus's horse. It threw Labienus, and as they were taking Labienus from the field, the centurion, whose name is not recorded in history, shouted, "Know this, Labienus, it was a soldier of the 10th who tried to kill you." Scab, what does that got to do with knives? Nothing. I just thought y'all would like to know that. Sometimes, oh, by the way, Caesar won that battle. You ain't heard of Julius Labienus, have you? What does that mean? It is what it is. Sometimes we have to look back to history to get our feet up under us, don't we? Sometimes we have to look to history to know what it is to do the right thing, to be a man. My guy, oh yes, please, let's slam on the brakes. Why don't we do that? Yes, because you're going to do some good. Thank you there, buddy. That's a good thing I don't have my pilum now, because I'd have threw it right through the back of that car. Well, I'm crossing the Shands Bridge. Y'all see the river. I'll be in the cove soon. My guy Mikey says it best. He simply says this: never give up, never surrender, and everything will be all right. I love y'all. God knows I do. God bless y'all. I know He will. I'm Scab. You're not. I'm going home, son.